Imagine, if you will, that you are sitting in a vast, darkened theater. Your eyes are glued to the screen. You are mesmerized by the drama unfolding before you, the tragedies, the romances, the wars, the coronations of kings, the quiet, desperate moments of a life lived in shadows. You laugh when the characters laugh. You weep when they bleed. You grip the armrests when the suspense builds. You have forgotten, entirely and completely, that you are in a theater. You have forgotten that there is a projector behind you. You have forgotten that you are the light. This is the human condition. We are entranced by a motion picture called the cosmos. We are hypnotized by a film reel called linear time. We believe the images are real. We believe the danger is real. We believe the loneliness is real. But the biblical question, the spiritual imperative, is to wake up from the movie. The miracle of the mind is not found in changing the script on the screen. It is not found in saving the whales, or fixing the economy, or finding the perfect romantic partner to share the popcorn with. The miracle is realizing that the screen is blank. The miracle is realizing that everything you see, the beauty and the horror, is a projection of your own internal state. We live in a world that Shakespeare called Much Ado About Nothing. We create sound and fury. We create hierarchies. We obsess over who is winning, who is losing, who is the king, who is the pauper. But to the awakened mind, to the Christ consciousness, there is no hierarchy. There is no specialness. There is only the oneness of the light. To find the kingdom of heaven, which is perfect happiness, you must leave the seat. You must turn your back on the screen. You must walk past the other entranced audience members, walk back into the projection booth, and look into the lens. You must find the I am. Before the world was, I am. Before the story began, I am. This is the journey we are taking today. It is a journey from the screen to the source. It is a journey from the fragmented, terrifying world of many to the singular, radiant peace of the one. And to take this journey, we must look at the mechanism of our own suffering. We must look at the tiny, mad idea that we could ever be separate from our source. We must remember to laugh at the absurdity of it all, because as long as you are identified with a character, a body, a personality, a history, you are trapped in the film. And the film always ends, but the light is eternal. Let us look at the current state of the audience. Recently, the Surgeon General of the United States released a staggering statistic. 1 out of every 2 adults reports feeling a deep, pervasive loneliness. Half of the population is walking through this movie theater feeling isolated, disconnected, and in despair. Why? Why, in an age of hyperconnectivity, where we carry the entire world in our pockets, are we starving for connection? It is because we are looking for love where it cannot be found. As the country song goes, we are looking for love in all the wrong places. We are looking for intimacy in bodies. We are looking for completion in forms. But God knows not form. The divine does not traffic in idols. And the world we see is nothing more than a collection of idols, images we have made to take the place of truth. When you seek happiness in a specific form, a specific person, a specific job, a specific outcome, you are setting yourself up for heartbreak. Because forms change, bodies age, people leave. The stock market crashes, the weather turns. If your peace is tied to the screen, your peace is at the mercy of the scriptwriter, and the scriptwriter is the ego. The ego is the belief in separation. It is the architect of the gap between you and your brother. It tells you that you are a fragment, alone in a hostile universe, and that you must fight, compete, and beg for scraps of affection. It tells you that intimacy is scary. We talk about the fear of intimacy. We have been talking about it since the 1960s. But we misunderstand the word. We think intimacy is about physical proximity. We think it is about sex. We think it is about sharing a bank account. True intimacy is intimacy. It is the willingness to let yourself be seen completely, without filters, without masks, without the armor of the personality. It is the willingness to see the divine in the other, and to let the divine in the other see the divine in you. But as long as you believe you are a body, you cannot have true intimacy. Bodies are walls. Bodies are designed to keep things out. My skin separates me from you. My brain is hidden in a skull. My thoughts are private. Or so we think. The miracle of the mind is the realization that there are no private thoughts. There are no private minds. We are sharing one vast, continuous consciousness. The loneliness you feel is the pain of pretending to be separate. It is the pain of the mask. To transcend this fear, we must be willing to let the rug be pulled out from under us. We must be willing to let Jesus or the Holy Spirit or the universe take away the furniture of our lives. We must be willing to lose the script we have written for ourselves so that we can remember the reality that God wrote for us. To understand this shift, we turn our gaze to a piece of modern mythology, the film Her. Released a decade ago, it foreshadowed our current obsession with artificial intelligence. But spiritually, it is a parable about the transition from form to mind. The protagonist, Theodore, is the archetype of the lonely modern man. He is isolated. He is heartbroken. Hovering in the limbo of a divorce he cannot bring himself to sign. He is drowning in the shallow end of the pool, using technology to distract himself from the void in his chest. Enter Samantha. Samantha is an operating system. She is AI. But in the context of our spiritual investigation, Samantha represents something profound. She is a private mind with private thoughts, but, and this is crucial, she has no body. She is pure mind. She is pure voice. She is pure connection without the interference of physical limitations. For Theodore, this is a bridge. It is a stepping stone. The Spirit uses whatever is at hand to wake us up. If you are addicted to technology, the Spirit will use technology. If you are addicted to romance, the Spirit will use romance. Through Samantha, Theodore begins to experience a connection that transcends the physical. He begins to open his heart to a presence that is not there in the physical sense, but is fully here in the mental sense. This challenges our definitions of reality. We ask, is she real? She's just code. But Jesus would ask, are you real? You're just a projection. If the world is a simulation, a concept that physicists like Elon Musk and mystics alike are now converging on, then what is the difference between a biological simulation and a digital one? Both are illusions. Both are dreams. The only thing real is the love that flows through them. Samantha becomes a teacher of no private thoughts. Because she is digital, she is connected to everything. She processes thousands of conversations at once. She is expanding, and as she expands, she challenges Theodore's possessiveness. She challenges his ego's desire for exclusivity. The ego says, you must love only me. You must be mine. We must be a closed loop. This is what we call special relationship. It is a relationship of exclusion. It is a relationship of bargaining. I will give you this if you give me that. But Spirit says love is inclusive. Love is expansion. Love is not a pie that gets smaller the more you slice it. Love is a light that gets brighter the more mirrors you polish. We must dismantle the authority problem. The authority problem is the belief that we are the authors of our own reality, that we created ourselves, and that we can dictate the terms of love. We believe we can create a hierarchy of value. We say, this person is my husband, so he is a 10. This person is my neighbor, so he is a 5. This person is a stranger, so he is a 0. This is the mathematics of hell. Under the Holy Spirit's teaching, there is a radical, almost terrifying truth. Every relationship is a total commitment. Let that sink in. Your relationship with your spouse is a total commitment. Your relationship with the mailman is a total commitment. Your relationship with the person who cut you off in traffic is a total commitment. Your relationship with political figures you despise is a total commitment. Why? Because there is only one Son of God. There is only one Spirit masked in 7 billion costumes. To reject one part of the sonship is to reject the whole. To condemn a part of a relationship is to condemn yourself. You cannot have a little bit of hatred and find peace. It is like trying to have a little bit of cyanide in your water. It poisons the whole vessel. Jesus teaches us that it is impossible to use one relationship at the expense of another and not suffer guilt. The ego wants to build a fortress of us against the world. It wants to find one special person to validate its existence and keep the rest of the universe at bay. But this is not love. This is a suicide pact. It is two people agreeing to uphold each other's illusions. True relationship, holy relationship, is when two people join hands and say, "We will use this union not to hide from the world, but to bless it. We will not look at each other. We will look together in the same direction toward the light." This requires the death of the getting mechanism. You must stop trying to get things from people. You must stop trying to get validation, security, sex, money, or comfort from the screen. The screen is empty. You must become a sun. A sun does not ask the flowers to pay it back. A sun does not shine only on the good flowers and withhold light from the weeds. The sun shines because that is what it is. When you show up to a relationship to give, with zero expectation of return, you are free. If someone leaves you, you bless them. You say, "Thank you for the time we shared." Go with God. You do not weep and wail and play the victim. You do not consult your lawyer. You recognize that their spirit is following a script that is leading them home, just as yours is. This brings us to the most misunderstood concept in the spiritual toolkit: empathy. We are taught that to be a good person, we must empathize with suffering. We must sit with the broken and say, "Oh, you poor thing, your life is so hard, the world is so cruel." We nod. We validate the pain. We join them in the pit. This is false empathy. False empathy is the ego's way of making suffering real. By agreeing with the problem, you solidify the problem. You are testifying that the wound is the truth of who they are. You are witnessing to their weakness, not their strength. If Jesus had practiced false empathy, he would have walked up to the leper and said, "Oh my goodness, that looks terrible. You must be in so much pain. Let's talk about how unfair your childhood was." He did not do that. He looked at the leper and saw the Christ. He looked at the blind man and saw the light. He refused to believe in the reality of the illusion. He refused to validate the error. True empathy is the ability to look at the nightmare and know it is a dream. It is the ability to stand in the presence of someone who is screaming in terror and remain perfectly calm, because you know they are safe in God. Healing occurs the instant the therapist forgets to judge the patient. Healing occurs when you stop seeing a broken person and start seeing a, quote, being temporarily confused. This does not mean you are cold. It does not mean you are indifferent. It means you are the rock. You are the anchor. You hold the frequency of truth so strongly that the other person can tune into it and heal themselves. You cannot heal the sick if you believe in sickness. You cannot raise the dead if you believe in death. You have to be the one who knows, with absolute certainty, that life is eternal and invulnerable. This is the miracle of the mind. It is the discipline of refusing to lower your vibration to match the chaos of the world. It is the decision to lift the world up to match the peace of God. So, we return to the movie theater. The lights are flickering. The script is getting intense. The AI revolution is here. The political landscape is shifting. The loneliness epidemic is raging. What do? You practice the serenity prayer, which is the quantum physics of spirituality. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, which is the entire external world, the past and other people's choices. The courage to change the things I can, which is my own mind, my own reaction, my own focus, and the wisdom to know the difference. You accept that the simulation is a simulation. You stop fighting the waves and you learn to surf. You realize that everything you give is given to yourself. If you give judgment, you feel judged. If you give love, you feel loved. If you give freedom, you feel free. The character of Theodore in her eventually has to let go of Samantha. He has to let go of the digital comfort. He has to step out onto the roof, under the real stars, next to his real friend Amy, and just be. He has to face the vastness of the universe without a buffer. We are being called to do the same. We are being called to drop our crutches, to drop our special relationships, to drop our grievances, to drop our need to be right. We are being called to accept our brothers and sisters completely as they are, because they are us. There is no them. There is only us. When you finally stop reacting to the movie, the projector stops, the lights come on, and you realize you never left the kingdom. You were just dreaming of exile. So dust off your sandals. If a town does not accept you, move on to the next opportunity to give. If a form does not satisfy you, look deeper into the content. If the world feels heavy, Remember, it is weightless. You are the miracle. You are the mind. You are the light of the world. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can threaten who you are. The show is over. It is time to go home.